Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video for this classified figure, the Action Pilot Halo High Altitude Jumper. I just got this and I'm just blown away by this figure. So I really wanted to make a video about it, just kind of show off what I like about it and why I think it's maybe the best classified figure I've gotten yet. I know everybody's got their own opinions about, what makes a good toy and what makes a good action figure and all those kinds of things. But there's something about this that it reminds me of a bunch of things. It reminds me about, the way it felt to play with the 12-inch GI Joes, the way they came with so much equipment. Because I had a couple when I was a kid. I think my uncle gave me them. He used to have them when he was a kid. And then, also the 3 3/4, the guys who came with a bunch of gear. Because this guy just comes with a ton of stuff. I know he's one of the more expensive figures, coming in at a little over $30, unlike the other ones. But I always loved the figures that came with a ton of stuff. And this guy, just comes with so much cool gear. So let's hit that. So he comes with a backpack. What's awesome about that is it actually holds his parachute. So I guess it's a parachute pack. Here you can see the parachute. It's pretty nicely made, and it feels, I think it's made of the same stuff they did the HasLab Sky Striker parachutes with. It's a little small. I'm going to test it. I want to throw them up in the air and see how it works. But it's really cool, like getting these kind of functional things where you can, actually stuff it in there. It's not just a, hollow piece of rubber. And I wish they would do all the backpacks like this, so you could just stick the gear into the, the characters' backpacks, and they could carry it. The helmets are really cool. This rifle is really neat. And look at how you can pose him. Look at the camo, all the detail. He's got all this web gear and belts and stuff, and, knee pads. It's just like this guy just looks awesome. He reminds me of back in the 80s, those cool like marine commercials and stuff. They'd always have like ads of Marines coming out of the water, walking around with swords and stuff like that. And this guy just looks like a real, you know, badass. Like, he looks really good. Um, just all this stuff he comes with. So let me show the other stuff. So he comes with a sniper rifle, which is really cool. I guess it looks like it's a 50 cal, maybe sniper rifle, but it comes with a removable silencer, which is really neat. These could use a little paint. They're very like, this is just green plastic, but still awesome. His alternate helmet. So let me just go over this helmet, which is really neat. It's like a pilot's helmet or a Halo guy's helmet, so he could drop out of a plane at like, super high altitude where there's no oxygen. But the visor goes up, and then it's really good how this works. You just put it in these like little holes, the little tabs, and comes right off. So that's his little breathing gear kind of apparatus. So you could use the helmet without that. He's got face paint on him. Someone, I think, said that this is the airborne figure just repainted. And then he's got this other helmet here. So that's got, like night vision or something. So you can go do some close quarters battling, or, whatever you want to do with him, but looks really neat. He's got like a little knife in his scabbard thing there. It's got a little pistol in here. It comes out. I don't know if something goes in there. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But then he comes with goggles, and there's a set of covered goggles, I guess, to protect them, like they're wrapped up. Maybe if he's in the desert or something. And then this like tinier rifle, like a submachine gun kind of thing, or it just looks like the stock is missing from it. It's kind of odd. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I like the front grip on that. Looks cool. And then he's got a stand. But it's just like this gear, like something about the backpack I think is cool. Like, you could just like throw all his stuff in there, and I know they don't make these to be playable, but it just reminds me of as a kid, like, throwing stuff into the backpacks, or making backpacks, or just kind of like, I remember I used to take my mom would give me like fabric, and you cut it and roll it up, put rubber bands around it, and make it look like bed rolls. Like these guys were really going on a long recon mission. Oh yeah, look at his watch, where it's like a compass or altimeter. Might be all those together. I'm not familiar with like all the military details, but just neat. He's got a grenade on there. All these little packs for gear and survival stuff. I just like these kind of characters that have a lot of thought in them, and you can imagine like a kid, just taking this one character and like parachuting him into the yard. The whole adventure is him like trying to survive and then get back to base or something like that. He's got everything he needs. Um, yeah, and these aren't actual like characters from GI Joe. So let me grab the box. It's a 60th anniversary, so these are kind of, I guess, an homage in a way to the old, um, the old like GI Joes. But two, if we look at like Ripcord, he's definitely got vibes of like Ripcord with the mask, and then we got the Night Force Ripcord with the HasLab, which is a really cool figure again with the backpack. This doesn't work, but we got the working parachute, which I think is like, parachutes are just the coolest thing on toys. But we got the HasLab parachutes that come out of the Sky Striker, and these are functional, which is like really cool. I'll put in some footage of like when I did the review of this and threw it up in the yard. But maybe I'll take all these out in the yard and throw them. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, let's check out the parachutes. This is what we're all excited about. So it's easy to attach the parachute. You just kind of clip it in there where the backpack peg goes in. I thought we'd do some comparisons. So let's check out the 80s Joe parachute. This thing, I'm sure all you know how to roll it up. You got to roll it up, then kind of fold it in half, and then wrap the string around it. Works great. Don't wrap it too tight, of course. As kids, sure we did this 100 times and figured out the perfect way to do it. But you can see there, it's a good size, nice and light, and it really floats the figure down. Now here's the GI Joe HasLab, much smaller parachute, probably half the volume or area, but still pretty good. It's made of a much nicer fabric, a heavier kind of fabric, and does a good job of slowing the figure. I've got all these running at, I capture them at high speed, so this is 25% speed. Here's our classified guy. Now he is a pretty small chute for how big and heavy he is, but it still deploys well and looks pretty good. It definitely helps break his fall. There's another throw. You can see though he gets a little tangled up and comes crashing down to the ground. But these classified guys are pretty tough. Here's another throw. I think he gets tangled again. I think this is when I realized I've got to be more careful with the string with this guy, because it's a heavier kind of, I guess, like thread. You can see there his ankles got a little bent. And then this throw went really good. You can see he comes down nicely. The hole in the center helps him from going side to side. Still hits a little hard. I don't think I fixed his feet last time, so he got a little busted ankle there. And it's cool to see a little grass kind of shoved into his shoe. He's definitely been played with. And then I just had to throw the 80s parachute a couple more times. It works so well. It's so much more fun to just kind of see these guys floating back and forth. You can see how they go side to side. If there was a hole in the middle, I bet that would help a lot. I'm not going to cut one in mine to try it, but I bet that would help. And then just threw them up a couple more times. They just like come down. It looks so good. It's so neat how you can just like put that on any of your Joes and throw them around. So that was awesome. So much fun getting these outside and throwing these around. Really brings you back. So I wanted to show how I folded the parachute. There's not really much to it. Just kind of put the string around it like lightly, and just held it to his body. Because you really, it's kind of that like timing of like the chute opening while he's traveling up as you throw them versus like not opening when he reaches kind of the apex of your throw. So, just something to experiment with. But with this guy, he's pretty heavy. Just kind of wrap it around him. And then I thought I'd try putting the chute into the pack. Now, don't do this if you want your parachute to remain like really nice and crisp looking like it did before I did this. Don't try this because you really got to jam it in there. And it's going to get like a bunch of like folds and creases in it. And folks might not like that. But I really want to know, like, could I fit this in here? Is it like when you buy a tent and it comes with that bag and you're never able to put your tent back in the original bag it came with? But this, yeah, it works. I don't think you could throw it up this way. You'd need something to pull it out of here. Maybe if you put like a string as you threw it up, it'd like rip it out of the bag. But yeah, I don't think this is actually like functional. But still, it holds the chute and holds a bunch of gear. You can see there, it's got like a bunch of like little mini folds now in it, so it's not as smooth as it used to be. So, you know, definitely might not want to do that, but definitely take your guy out and throw him around. It's so much fun, and at your own peril. He could break, but I didn't lose any pieces. Nothing fell off him, and he didn't break. So the parachutes are awesome. Love the Joe parachutes.
But she reminds me of like one of my favorite beachhead, just someone who's got like all this stuff packed up, all this equipment, even the little satchels and things like that. One of my favorite because he just looked like he could take on the world, could just do anything, by himself. And this figure just is really, really, I don't know, just fantastic figure. I just wanted to like show off how cool he is. And I don't collect all the classified, but that guy just spoke to me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna order him. And here's the old GI Joe, um, parachutes. So this kind of thing, where it's this functional kind of little pack, and this was at the 3 3/4 size, but yeah, you could pack these up. I think I sent away flag points to get these when I was a kid. Got like 2 or 3 of them. Um, they're just a blast. But this is like the modern version of that. It's a bummer that more the figures don't have this. Especially some of the other classified I've gotten. Like Snow Job has so much gear. Some of it can go on his backpack, but I feel like he would have benefited from a big backpack like this. And then there's another 60th anniversary, I think, sniper coming out with a ghillie suit. If you could pack the ghillie suit into their bag, that would just be really, really cool. I don't know what goes in. Oh yeah, the oxygen thing. So that like plugs in here, his breathing apparatus, for his mask and stuff like that. Just very cool. But I think I like the kind of out Halo helmet the best, like the pilot kind of helmet. You can see it's got like little tabs here, and those will pop out. It's not super super tight, but once you get it in, it like holds pretty good. And this just looks really good. It's pretty easy to get this in. Let me see if I can do it live recording. I like that it's not a giant pain. You don't have to heat him up and stuff like that. I did heat up his legs because the leg joints were a little stiff and I didn't want to break them. But otherwise, really cool. Out of the box. Look at that. It looks so good, right? This looks like some like super tough like soldier. Put that down. Ready for battle. Just awesome. Very cool. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of this. I It really makes me want to get the underwater guy, the diver guy. Because I got Torpedo. He's pretty cool. I had one of the Cobra underwater guys, but I ended up selling him. Just wasn't blown away by that character. And again, these classified, I don't really do much with them, so not sure whether which ones to keep or which ones to not buy, which to buy. But definitely, this guy was one that I wanted to get, and I'm really glad I got him. This is one. I think this is the best classified figure they've made. Um, yeah, I love Beachhead, the Beachhead classified. That's what got me into it. But this is a really great figure. So 2 thumbs up for this guy. If you got him, hope you also like him. Let me know what you think in the comments. And hope you enjoyed this video. Hope we'll see you in the next one. And as always, Yo Joe.